What's up, gang? Chris Angel coming at you for another episode of Marketing for the Rest of Us. And tonight we're talking about you can't make people understand you, right? You have been given a gift. You've been given lessons from life, capital L. You've been given lessons from life. And in that, if you share it, listen, let me just give you the brutal truth. Not everybody is going to resonate with that. That's just how it is. That's how it is in marketing or the world. So I want to encourage you tonight with the fact that you can't please everybody. You just can't. The reason this is important is because many of you are looking for validation out there in the blogosphere, in the interwebs. You're looking for validation to your message. It feels risky to say what you really want to say. And then you develop the courage to say it and record it. That's the next hurdle. And then you share that with the world on something like Facebook, for example. And then it's met with crickets. Maybe nobody responds. Worse, maybe people respond and they criticize you, judge you. Maybe they want to fix you or save you. They're like, oh man, your post, are you okay? This isn't like you. Or maybe this is absolutely like you. Maybe this is the first time. Listen to me. Maybe this is the first time people are actually seeing you. Because this is the first time that you're actually sharing with the world what you really want to say. Now, when you do that, when you actually share with the world what you really want to say, you just have to know it's not going to land with everybody. It just won't land with everybody. Okay? So that being said, here's the good news. If you can embrace that, not everybody is going to resonate with what you say, you can begin to make some choices. You can start to choose who your message is for. If you know that a particular group doesn't resonate with your message, maybe they just don't get it. Like they're always asking for, I don't get it, or tell me why this works, or they're always asking for validation about why you see the world the way you see it and why that makes sense. You don't have to justify that to anybody. Do you hear that? You don't have to justify that to anybody. Life has taught you something. And there is a group of people in this world who that message is perfect for. It is perfect for them. And they are just waiting to hear it from you. Now, if you don't want to just leave it, you totally could leave it to the organic algorithm gods to put your heartfelt content into the news feeds of those who are meant to hear it. You could totally do that. That's totally up to you. But if you want something that is a little bit more proactive, right? Then you could begin to think about who is this? Who would this message most resonate with? You don't have to just say, hey, life, what are you teaching me? Share it with the world and then let the entire world judge it. You could say, hey, life, what are you teaching me? And then think, who would most resonate with this message? Who is this for? This happened to me, by the way. Originally, I started finding access to my message while I was running a real estate company. Between 2007 and 2011, I ran a real estate company in Spokane, Washington. And a lot of what I did was I was teaching and consulting with agents about how to continue to grow their business. And what I noticed was that there was a breakdown in agents' marketing. Most agents weren't consistent in their marketing. They weren't showing up. And so they were struggling financially. Why? Because they weren't showing up. You have to market. If you're in business, you have to be visible. How are you showing up so that your people are being led by you? Know that you're there. But agents weren't showing up. And I began to notice that. I'm like, why aren't they showing up? You know why they weren't showing up is because they didn't feel authentic or congruent in their message. They felt like they were sharing things that were just about transactional real estate things, and they didn't like that. So I started to teach agents how to think differently about connecting with humans. If you could connect with humans, it changes the game. But here's what I noticed. To my core, I felt that my message was true. I'm like, because it was my story. It was my message. I had built connection with people through human things, not businessy things, right? I built connection with people through the shadows and the struggles, not through the tactics and the strategies. So, when I would teach agents about authentic marketing, what I noticed was most of them didn't resonate with the message. And for a long time, I thought the problem was me. I thought I didn't have the right message. And you over there, maybe you have been courageous and brave to share a message that has felt so soulful and heartfelt, only to share it out with the world and have it trampled on. You've given pearls to swine. They didn't appreciate what it was that life had taught you. And then you made that mean that what life had taught you or what you wanted to share wasn't the right thing to share because nobody resonated with it. And what I want to tell you on this side of my life's journey so far is that it's just that you haven't found the right tribe. You haven't found the right people. What life teaches you is never the wrong message. What life has taught you is never the wrong message. And what the world as in your tribe is looking for is perspective about what life has taught you. Your job, your first job, so let's break this down. I'm going to give you two jobs. The first job is that you have to find the message that's in you to share with the world. Stop doing the pre-planned social media calendars for a year or two. Stop doing the, all the scripted things. Stop doing that. And listen inside, listen inwardly for what has life taught you? What have you learned? That's step number one. What have you learned? What do you know about life? What have you learned about how to move through your obstacles and challenges in life? Okay, that's step number one. Once you have that, first of all, I want you to validate that as true. That is what I'm here to share. That is what will make a difference in the world. Okay, second, once you have that, you have to start to think about who would this most resonate with? Who is this for? So back to my story, I noticed that real estate agents were not resonating with my message. Some, the occasional outlier was resonating with my message, but most were not. And I was like, okay, my people are not real estate agents. Real estate agents don't get this. They don't understand this heartfelt shadow work. They don't get this. They want to know when the next lead is coming. But heart-centered business owners, people who understand that connection is created through empathy and understanding and the shadow, that vulnerability is what creates connection. People who have read Brené Brown or Seth Godin, people who understand that it is a heart-centered approach that allows you to feel safe with me and me with you. Like that kind of business relationship is what makes it work. And so I realized that there are industries and niches that are more heart-centered than others. Like that they come from that place. One of those is healers. If you're a healer, you are in my tribe because you get this. You get this more than most. You understand that there is a spiritual component to how we connect with others. And that if you could market in a way that was spiritually and emotionally aligned with the people that you are serving. That if you shared a wound that your tribe also has, you could create a connection of trust. And from that place, you could actually support and serve those people. And so I started to shift out of real estate and into transformational coaches, healers, people like that, people, heart-centered entrepreneurs who simply wanted to make a difference for people and change the world. My message, I realized, this is the cool part, because I've had this message for a long time, but I originally started to try to teach it to real estate agents because that was the industry I was in, and it wasn't landing. Some of you have a message that's percolating, it's coming up in your soul, but you've tried to say it to a generic random group of people, and it's not landing. And this is your moment of clarity. This is your moment to go, the message in me is not wrong. I'm just serving it up to the wrong people. And once you realize that, the second thing then is to begin to focus on who is this for? Who would most love to hear this perspective? Who would most be encouraged by this message? And that is the inquiry for you tonight, right? I'll leave you with that. That is the inquiry. Who is this message for? You have a message. Life has given you a message. And now the question is, who is it for? You may have been sharing that message with the general public, and because of some lack of validation or engagement, or even some snarky comments from people, you might have questioned the message life has given you. And what I'm going to tell you is that's actually not the case. Life always gives you the message you need in order to lead your people. So the only question left is, who are your people? You have a message. Life has given it to you. So now you get to say or ask, who is this for? Who are my people? That's it, gang, for tonight. Thanks for hanging out with me in this episode of Marketing for the Rest of Us. Until tomorrow, when we go live again, or when we post again, here's to you finding who it's for.